first step, and we will discuss a little bit also the people involved, the stakeholders, who does what in these processes. So the first step is that a so-called job role committee is founded, is built, and this job role committee jointly develops the core of the ECQA certification, the so-called skill card. This is a skills and competences portfolio for a certain profession. So in our project, we are right in the middle of this process. This is the very first IO. It's about assessing, identifying the skills and competences needed in that job role. Needed in terms of what professionals really need to know, to understand, and be able to perform in practice. This is one of the core requirements and ECQA standards, quality standards, that not one organization alone or one person, even if it's a key driver in the industry, cannot establish a job role committee his or her own. So you need to have, at minimum, like in EU projects, you need to have at least 3 different organizations from 3 different countries, and comes up with exam questions, with first self-assessment and then exam questions. But they are similar. It's not the same, because the self-assessment questions will be shared online. This is a wonderful tool and process in this pedagogical concept of ECQA, that you start with measuring where you stand, and this is free of charge. And as I said earlier, we need, for each and every of these performance criteria, or synonymous now is learning objectives, we need 4 to 5 exam questions. So you can imagine you end up more or less automatically with 400, 500 exam questions. And this is good, because we need that. That's the exam question pool, because during the exam, everybody is randomized, and a subset of these exam questions will appear on the screens of the examinees. So even if you sit next to each other, if 2 examinees sit next to each other, they have different exam questions. It can develop training material. Usually it is the case, because the training material is also subject to these ECQA quality assessments and certification. Also, the training material is ECQA certified. Why? Because it needs to include each and every learning objective of the skill card.
LTA, Live Text Access, Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona, SDI, Internationale Hochschule, Scuola Superiore per Mediatori Linguistici, ZDF Digital, European Federation of Hard of Hearing People FHO, Velotype, SUBT Access, European Certification and Qualification Association ECQA. Co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. Erasmus Plus project 2018-1-DE01-KA203-004218. The information and views set on this presentation are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official opinion of the European Union. neither the European Union institutions and bodies, nor any person acting on their behalf, may be held responsible for the use which may be made of the information contained here.